Welcome, Stitchy friends, to Flosstube number 22. Yes, I had to look. Flosstube number 22. It is December 15th, 2021. It is a Wednesday, and it is rather late in the day for me to be starting this, but I waited until the last minute to get organized, and that's what happens. So it's probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so the lighting is going to be a little bit different than what you are normally used to here. By the way, here is OG Stitchery. That is me. My name is Tracy, and I am also OG Stitchery over on Instagram, so hopefully you're following me here and there. That'd be great. Welcome. Thank you so much for clicking play. I appreciate it very much. It allows me to know that someone out there cares enough to watch and comment. So thank you so much. If you are new, welcome. I appreciate you. And if you're returning, I appreciate you as well. So yay, thanks. Anyway. Today is going to be a special edition of Flosstube. I'm not going to be doing my normal acquisitions and WIPs and, well, I'll be doing WIPs, but any finishes or, you know, things like that. This is going to be 100% a WIP Parade. I started stitching, I came back to stitching last year. I think it was last year, yeah. Yes, last year. Wow. It seems so long ago, but anyway, I started stitching, I came back to stitching in 2020. That doesn't seem right. Anyway, I know that I started Flosstube here in June, I think. Gosh, I am so unorganized. It's not even funny. So, you know what? These are going to be my WIPs for when I came back to stitching. They are in the order of me writing them down in my journal. I use the cross stitch journal by It's So Emma from the Fat Quarter Shop. And I have 5 of them so far. So I number them. This is booklet number 5. And so I just went through and I picked the ones that I haven't completed that I started. That is a work in progress. So that is how I wrote them down. That is how I organized them. And you can probably see them. They're right here. So there we go. So I'm going to be probably inserting a lot of information on the screen. I am not going to be listing them out in the descriptions. I will put links to various Etsy shops and websites and things like that, but I'm not going to be listing them all out. I will be popping up, putting in little inserts of the information if I don't remember it right now, like this first one. I have the information, but because I wrote it down. Anyway, so let's get started, because this is probably going to be a long one. Fair warning, there will be zippers opening and closing and rattling of papers and things like that. So yeah, so there's that. Just to give you a little warning, you might want to turn it down or up or whatever. So all right, let's get started. So the first one is actually my current WIP, because it is my WIP goal for this month. I wanted to stitch on it 5 days, and today think is the 5th day. Either today or yesterday was the 5th day. I can't remember. Anyway, it's called Happy Halloween, and it is by HM Cross Stitch on Etsy. This is what it will look like once it's done, and then I'm going to insert what it looked like the last time I showed you, and then here's my progress. So I'm really happy with it. There is a slight concern that I have. There's a crease in the center that is because of the fold of the fabric, how I've been folding it, but it is also the page break, and that's where I stopped stitching and then picked it up, and so I'm hoping that just washing it or spraying it with water and ironing it, that will go away. But I can see it, others can't, but I can see it, so I don't know. Anyway, this is my progress. Alrighty, so I'm going to set that here because I'm working on it. Okay, the next one is Shadow Moon, and this one is by Hands On Design. Oh, I'm stitching that one on 14 count cream Aida. Yeah, using DMC. This next one is, like I said, Shadow Moon, and where's the picture? Here is the picture. And it says, the shadow moon on Hallows Eve lights the way so ghosts can leave. I am stitching this on 14 count mint Aida that I coffee and tea dyed myself. And here's what it looked like before. I think I worked on this last month for WIP Go. And here's what I have now. So it's coming along quite nicely. And this is a needle minder by Rebel Stitches, Bride of Frankenstein. Love it. So, alright, come on. There we go. Put those that way. Alright, the next one is All Hallows Night. And this is by Punochka Evdokia Nikolaeva, something like that. This was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine Halloween edition 2020. I don't have a color copy, but this is what it looks like. I am stitching this on 18 count hand-dyed Aida that I dyed, and here's where I got. Not a lot, but you can see something on there. That counts for something, right? Okay, the next one on the list is Something Wicked, and this is by Kathleen Burlew, and it's from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, Halloween edition 2020. And again, this is a color copy, a black and white copy, so that's what it's going to look like. I am stitching this on 18 count white Aida, and I will show you what it looked like before, the progress that I have before. Hopefully I have a picture. And here's where I'm at now. Love the colors, love the style. so great. I enjoy stitching on this. I need to get back to it. You're probably going to hear that a lot. Oh well. Alright, the next on my list is not this one. There it is. This is Halloween Vintage. I will show a picture of what it's supposed to look like. This is by Lilu X Stitch on Etsy. And I am stitching this on 14 count light blue Aida that I coffee tea dyed. And here's where I'm at. Now this was one of my October Startathon projects, where I started 31 projects in October. So I started this on the 26th. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It doesn't have a project bag. So I need to get project bags. Okay, the next one is Cat in a Hat, and this one is by HM Cross Stitch on Etsy. I will show a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And I'm stitching this on 18 count vintage white Aida. And here is where I'm at. So cute. Started this in July for no particular reason. And this one lives in my very first project bag. This is by Cricklewood Crossing. Cricklewood Crossing, I think, on Etsy. And really cute. I love the bag. And it was my very first project bag. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Okay. The next on my list is Hocus Pocus sampler. And this is by Play-Doh Squirrel on Etsy. I will show, hopefully I will show what it's supposed to look like when it's done. This is stitched on 16 count hand dyed Aida that I dyed, and here's where I'm at. Not a lot done. I started this February 13th. It was a WIP Go goal in February. I wanted to do one full bar, one border kind of across, and I finished that. Haven't picked it up since, but it is another WIP Go goal for this month. I want to spend 5 days on that, so I need to keep that out because I'm going to be working on that. Next on the list is a Little Quaker Halloween. Little Quaker Halloween. This is a free chart by Ari Phil. It's by Susan Aki. And here it is. This is what it's going to look like. I am trying to keep with the converted floss. It calls for Ari Phil floss, of course, but I converted, did a conversion to DMC. And I am also stitching this on 28 count Monaco. It is the first one. It's 1/1. It's the first time I'm stitching with 28 counts, and it's really hard. It's really hard for me. But here's my start. I started this on, I have no idea. I didn't write down when I started this. Lovely. So I get to go back into my calendar and figure out when I started this. But it's really hard for me because I can, but I don't like to count. I have to like really concentrate. So it's a little challenging for me, but I need to get back to it because I like it. Now, you'll notice that there are 2 creatures on here. I'm not going to do this one, obviously. And this is a really big space. So I have to do some finagling here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but I'm not going to stitch it. So we'll see what happens. Not anytime soon, though. This isn't calling to me at all. Okay. Next on the list is another October start. This is If the Shoe Fits. And I think it's that way. This is by Gemini Designs. This was again in the Just Cross Stitch magazine. Doesn't say. It was probably 2020, I'm thinking. But if you want to know, just leave a message. I'll figure it out. I'm stitching this on 16 count Presenting Lorelei. It is fabric by Fiber on a Whim, and this was in the Autumn and Stars Hollow Retreat box by the Black Needle Society. And here's my start. Oh, you probably want to know what it looks like, or what it should look like. So here, sorry about that. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's really tiny, but again, it was a start in October, so I just started it and haven't picked it up since. So, there we go. It would help if you showed what it looks like when completed. Alright. The next one is a project that I am doing for my husband. My husband likes the aesthetic of Asian and Oriental designs. And someday, when he retires, maybe he'll have a home office. I don't know. Anyway, that's the idea. I want to stitch this and hang it up for him. This is Kimono Row, and it's by Design Works. It is a kit, so I am using the kit fabric and floss. And it says that it's on 14 count Aida. And here's where I'm at. I think it's turning out really good. If I could just ever get back to it. I started this on November 16th of last year. And I've probably worked on it 2 or 3 times since then. So I need to get back to it. I mean, it's on 14 count Aida, so it's simple. Alright, so the next one on my list is The Wary Approach. This one has a little bit of a story. So I first learned how to cross stitch in 1990. And a friend of mine who lived down the street, she was into cross stitch. She did cross stitch, and she taught me, showed me this this hobby. So initially, I was doing small, little kits that you purchase at your local Michael's or Joann's or Walmart or things like that. And probably about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month after that, I was thinking to myself, okay, I got this. And she taught me counted. It wasn't stamped or anything. It wasn't the non-counted cross stitch. It was a blank fabric and floss and a chart. So anyway, about a month, maybe 2 months later, I decided, I wanted to do something for my mom and dad, for their house. I wanted to stitch something up for them. And so I saw this and I showed it to my mom, and she said it was absolutely beautiful and it would go great in their house. We lived in Texas at the time, and this is kind of like a woodland scene, and so it would look great. Again, this is 1990. Lots of years ago. This is called The Weary Approach, and it is by Stony Creek Collections. This is the original chart that I had. It says $4.50, leaflet number 28. However, this is the only part that I have left. I did not have the full chart. So 20, 30 years go by, I never finished it, and I've lost it. I don't know where it is. I know it is somewhere in my storage unit, in a box somewhere, but it wasn't in with the chart, obviously. This was separate. So what I did was, when I came back to stitching last year, I searched and searched and searched because I couldn't remember what the name of it was. All I remembered was there was a barn, and there was a deer, and there were birch trees, and there was a stump. That's all I remembered. I didn't remember the name. I finally found it, and I found that it was Stony Creek, so I instantly went to Stony Creek website and purchased this. You can see that this is the new chart. It is $7.50. Leaflet number 28, and it's a little different because you've got paper. It's not all the cardstock. So anyway, all that to say, I restarted it. I need to get back to it, and here is where I'm at. So pretty, but it is I don't want to say it's confetti heavy, but it kind of is, because it's like, one color here, there. Like this deer is probably about 8 different shades of brown and white. So anyway, there we go. So there's my sad story about a project that was started many moons ago. I need to get back to it, and I need to finish it for my mom. Alright, so the next couple of ones are going to be Hayes. For some reason, I thought I could do a Hayes in a year. I thought, I don't work, I don't have children at home, and I have all the time in the world to stitch all day long, right? No problem. I can do a Hayes in a year. I had no idea. So what I did was, last year in January, actually in December, I picked up 4 Hayes. Now a Hayes is a heaven and earth design, and it is a full coverage piece. And actually, I think I'm going to insert a picture of what this is supposed to look like. This one is Treasure Hunt. It is the mini Treasure Hunt bookshelf. It's by artwork by Amy Stewart, and this is stitched on 25 count easy grid fabric. And here's my start. I like to stitch bottom to top, right to left. Whenever I stitch the other way, my needle, my thread twists and it knots quite a lot. So I always like to stitch that way when I'm stitching just, you know, in a hoop. Now in a Q-snap, I stitch both hands, so it really doesn't matter. But anyway, I like to start down there. So this is the bottom right corner start. And there we go. So I don't have a lot. And this one was when I was doing, this was the first hay that I started. And I started it doing cross country. And I quickly realized that's not going to work. It gets so thick. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but it is so thick whenever I did this. And you can see my back. It's just so messy. Now I understand you're not going to see the back. It's not a problem. But this, again, so thick. And it got to the point where when I was putting just 1 or 2 stitches in to finish the block, it was so hard to get my needle in there. So then I learned that I was going, then I tried the parking method, and that's what I'm doing now. And it seems to be working. Just need to get back to it. But there's that. I started this, again, I don't have a start date on my little card. Brr. But there we go. So that is my first Heaven and Earth design. And here's my next one. This is going to be mini museum shelf. Again, artwork by Amy Stewart. I'll put a picture of what it's going to look like. And again, this is on 25 count easy grid Lugana. And I started this, and I started it in the wrong started it the wrong way, because I initially started it up here and I was going this way. When I realized that, I was like, oh, I need to start it down here and go this way. So this is my start. And again, I'm doing the parking method, so seems to be working out just fine for me. Just need to get to it. And the next one is one that I worked on quite a lot. I was doing at the beginning of the year, I was doing a challenge in one of the Facebook groups called the Full Coverage Fanatics. And so I got quite a lot of work done on this one because of that challenge. So this is Mini Heroes and Heroines, artwork by Amy Stewart. I was on a kick. And again, this is on 25 count easy grid. 25 count easy grid. Is it Lugana or is it just 25 count? I don't know. Anyway, here's my start on that. I really like this one and I really need to get back to it. I like the subject. I think it's so pretty. And I have quite a lot done on it. I had toyed with the idea of starting over because I don't like the fabric. All of these are stitched 1/1. No. They're stitched 2/1. half stitch or tent stitches. So they are 2 over 1 tent stitch. And it's it's not that hard. It's just, I don't know. I think it's going to be difficult later on once there's a lot more once there's a lot more stitching on it, but I don't know. Who knows? I'm going to stick with it, I think, because especially on this one, I have probably about 3,000 to 4,000 stitches done on this, so I am not going to start over on this. I like it, and it's fine. Okay, that was page 1. Part 1 is done, so that's great. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a comment below and let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. And yeah, so I'm going to do I'm going to do part 2. I'll probably do part 2 tomorrow. No, I've got errands to run. Maybe Friday. Yeah, but it'll be this week, hopefully. Maybe Friday, because I've got it all organized. I just need to do it. So look for part 2 in a couple of days. We'll say that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it wasn't too boring and wasn't too loud. I know I can probably drone on and on and on, but it's fun. And you know what? If nothing else, it's a record for me. So there you go. Alright, thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. If you are so inclined, please feel free to subscribe, like, and please leave a comment to say hi. And tell your friends about me, because more the merrier, right? Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.